Are you ready to test your grammar? Here is the first sentence.
Ladies and gentlemen, I want to look at the perfect infinitive. The perfect infinitive is a tense I've discussed quite a few times on the page, but it seems we have new followers and also long-term followers on the page who have not understood it. So I'm going to quickly recap what the perfect infinitive tense is. We're now looking at minor tenses. For the 12 basic tenses, please search up tenses on my page to watch the videos that explain what the 12 basic tenses are. We're going to look at minor tenses, and one of which is the perfect infinitive. Ladies and gentlemen, wherever you hear the infinitive, you expect to find the preposition to plus the root form of the verb. So please have a listen to my sentences. I want to learn to swim. He wanted to cook dinner. He had to understand the question before giving an answer. What did you notice about my sentences? Did you see that I used the preposition to before the verb? This is what I meant by the infinitive. The infinitive does not work with the ing or continuous form of the verb. So, we can't say, I am to going. He is to sitting down. I want to repeating. We can't say that because the infinitive does not work with continuous tenses. Nor does it work with past tenses. I want to act. I wanted to dance. Now, the infinitive works with the base form. You're going to ask me, what is the base form of the verb? If you were to look up a word in the dictionary, a verb, for example, the verb to sing, S-I-N-G, you might come across the dictionary definition of the word S-I-N-G on its own, the bare form, the base form. You wouldn't see to sing, you would see sing in the dictionary. So therefore, the base form is the form without the preposition to. Have a listen to these words. To swim, infinitive, base form, swim. To eat, base form, eat. So, having got that out of the way, let's now look at what the perfect infinitive is. The perfect infinitive, ladies and gentlemen, is formed by using one structure, which is to plus have plus ed, or it might be formed using a modal plus an infinitive, or it might be formed using a verb plus to plus ed. Are you ready for my first example? Efwa claims to have kissed Davido. Efwa claims to have kissed Davido. In my sentence, Efwa claims to have kissed Davido, I'm referring to a past action. Do not be confused by the fact that my first verb, claims, is in the present simple. The entire sentence needs to be read for you to determine the time frame. Efwa claims to have snogged Davido. This is a claim that Efwa makes all the time, so I'm using the present simple tense. The action of snogging or kissing Davido took place in the past. Efwa claims to have kissed Davido. The structure of my sentence is verb plus to have plus the past participle Please have a listen to my other example. To have swum the entire English Channel, Michael needed to have had very good lungs. To have swum the entire English Channel, Michael needed to have had very good lungs. Please have a read of my sentences on the screen. Did you see the structure that I utilized in my sentence? To plus have plus past participle. In the next clause, what tense have I used? Please have a listen to another way that the perfect infinitive might be used. The perfect infinitive might be utilized to refer to a future action, something that has not yet transpired. I hope to have paid the competition winner by December 20th. I hope to have paid the competition winner by December 20th. Verb plus infinitive plus past participle. I'm going to go quiet while you have a read of the sentences on the screen. Should I give you a variation? I'm also going to vary the perfect infinitive because I'm going to speculate on an action which could have occurred depending on the occurrence of an earlier one. So B would have happened depending on whether A had transpired. B would have happened depending on whether A had transpired. The two actions I'm going to refer to are 1. Winning the competition, and 2. Writing very well. Please have a listen to my example. To have won the writing competition, you probably needed to have pulled out all the stops. To have won the writing competition, you probably needed to have pulled out all the stops. To recap, I've given you 3 uses of the perfect infinitive. 1. To determine a past action. 2. To express a future action. 3. To talk about a speculative action that could have happened depending on the occurrence of another one. I've also said the structure of the perfect infinitive is to have plus past participle. I'm going to look at another structure, which is verb plus to have plus past participle. Specifically, I'm going to look at modal verbs. What are modal verbs? Modal verbs are these words: can, could, may, might, shall, should, ought to, will, would, and we have semi-modal verbs, used to, for example. For a recap of modals and semi-modals, kindly search up modals and semi-modals on my page. I'm going to use a modal verb. And I'm going to use a modal verb with the perfect infinitive. Please have a listen to my sentence. Modal plus verb plus perfect infinitive. I would prefer President Beer to have remained in London in 2009. I would prefer President Beer to have remained in London in 2009. I could decide to bake cakes instead of croissants. I could decide to bake cakes instead of croissants. Question: Would you have to ring the bell to be let in? Please have a listen to my other examples. To have plus past participle. To have succeeded in Blantyre meant so much to Pempo. To have succeeded in Blantyre meant so much to Pempo. To plus have plus ed plus past participle. To have read all Chimamanda's books, Efwa had to be very studious. To have read all of Chimamanda's books, Efwa had to be very studious. This is the present tense now that I'm using it. I'm using it to describe Efwa's present state. But Efwa has already read all Chimamanda's books. However, I'm describing what Efwa is like now. To have read all Chimamanda's books, Efwa has to be very studious. Please have a look at my example on the screen. I'm going to make another statement which is using the perfect infinitive in the future tense. The Chinese firm hope to have completed the bridge in Lunge by 2025. The Chinese firm hope to have completed the bridge in Lunge by 2025. To recap, I've looked at how we use a perfect infinitive. I've said we're using an infinitive plus the past participle. That's simply what it is. I've said it can be used to determine a past action, a present action that's going on at the minute, or it could be used to describe a future action, or we can use it speculatively. Whatever you go up to today, ladies and gents, do have a nice and pleasant one.